Hello and welcome. Happy New Year. Looking forward to getting back into lots of new recipes and catching up with you all tonight for Facebook Live. And we're really excited to be bringing you lots of new recipes this year. So I'll give everyone a little while to get on, and I hope that everyone's safe and well. I know that it's not very nice out there at the moment, and a lot of us are staying home and cooking more, which is fantastic for all of us that are clever enough to own a Cook Expert. For those of you, if anyone's watching that doesn't, now is your time. You need to get out there and you need to get yourself this fabulous machine, because honestly, it has been an absolute godsend having this and not having to worry about going out. We can make amazing meals and always coming up with new and fabulous things. And I hope that tonight's recipe you absolutely love. I had tested it 3 days ago and the neighbours devoured it, so they absolutely loved it. Yes, I know you all would love to be my neighbour, and honestly it would be a fantastic gig. But yes, so they're excited because they're like, oh my gosh, is that dinner tonight? So I'm like, I don't know whether I want to share it again. It was so good. But really excited to get this one through to you. It is a chicken coleslaw with a little bit of a twist. So we're going to start by using our food processor to get our veggies ready, and then we're going to whip up our own mayonnaise. It's actually got added to it some Greek yogurt and some apple cider vinegar and also some parsley, which is in the recipe. So we've added that. It's a beautiful dressing and it makes quite a lot of dressing. So if you don't use it all, you could actually store it for a couple of days in the fridge. And then we're going to do some steamed chicken. So we're going to be able to do this recipe in probably less than 30 minutes. And that's doing all of our own fresh veggies, doing all of our own fresh mayonnaise and the sauce, and then doing our own steamed chicken. So it's a really great recipe. It actually, I have to say, that I had everything in the fridge to do tonight. So I tested it earlier in the week and I still had plenty of everything to be able to do it again tonight. So it's a really great, standby. It's a really great recipe because generally you would have these things in the fridge or the freezer. The only thing that I don't always have is cabbage, but again, really easy to go and grab. But other than that, everything else pretty much I always have in my pantry or in my fridge or my freezer. So let us know where you're looking for, watching from tonight. Rose is there to answer any questions if you have anything as we go. The recipe will be posted for you so that you can jump on anytime you like to be able to do this recipe, add it to your recipe files if you're collecting all of the ones that we do. And we'll get going in, I think, probably get going because we're a couple of minutes in. Hopefully everyone's had enough time to jump on and everything is good to go. So I'm going to start by just going through what we're going to do, what we're going to use first. So we're actually going to start with using our food processor. And the food processor I have got, and this is what I love about the Cook Expert, is that you've got full thermal cooking with a full food processor, so you can do everything. So I'm actually going to start with my 2mm slicing blade, and we're going to get our cabbage sliced as well. So we'll get that on and ready to go. The other thing I love about our XL food processors is that you can get your cabbage in by removing the larger feeding tube as well. So you don't have to chop it into tiny little pieces. We can get that going. So hopefully I've chopped them small enough. Always the way, just that tiny little bit on the end. So we're going to pop that in and get started. So we've got our green and our red coleslaw. I like red better than green. I find red's not quite as strong in flavour, so I don't know whether you're all the same, but that's just my preference. But let's just get this going. Oh, hang on. I just don't have that down far enough. There we go. Special safety feature, you've got to have that large feeding tube down past that little bit there. So I love that. Okay, so you can do this however you like. So let's just get going by starting with our green. Oh, and we'll just get that going. Now, when you actually put this salad together, you can do it a few different ways. If you want to do it by individual plates, by all means, that's a really great way to go. If you've got people that say, oh, I don't like this and I don't like that, that's a really good way to be able to do it. or you can just mix everything together like you would a coleslaw. So what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to actually pop it into a really large bowl, and I'm going to pop it all together. If you wanted to be fancy, you could do it in layers. You could do like your green cabbage and then a layer of red and then your carrots, and you can do anything. You can be really super creative, and people will just think you're amazing because this is super amazing and easy. So I'm just going to pop that into my bowl, but you can see that was 1/4 of a cabbage, and you can see how much, and I guess it depends on the size of the cabbage, but you can see how much it actually makes, which is great as well. And then we'll get on and do our red. And again, it's just so quick and so simple and so easy to do. And again, we'll just pop that in there as well. So I'm just going with, like I said, the whole everything in one bowl version of it. But this is a really great one. So if you actually don't, I'm just actually changing blades. So I'm going to now go to my 2mm grating blade so that we can do our carrots. If you want a vegetarian version of this, easy, just don't put in the chicken. You can put anything that you wanted to put in there. So if you wanted to add some tofu or some, grilled halloumi or something like that, you can definitely do that. So it's a nice, easy, friendly recipe that you can make vegetarian absolutely easily. So now we're going to get our carrots grated. Oh, it's fallen over, but it just means we get long grated carrot, which really doesn't matter for this recipe at all. So you can see, I'll just show you the difference. So when the carrot lays down, you can do, much longer sort of pieces of carrot than your tiny little grated pieces. So it just means that they're longer. So if you want to do it that way, it doesn't really matter. And we're going to just pop that in there as well, like so. So that's all of our veggies. I'm just going to use my hands, sorry about that. I forgot to grab my spatula, but somebody could grab me one in the drawer over there. Always forget something, don't I? Okay, so what we're actually going to do now is we're going to get on and we're going to do our mayonnaise. So we've got our veggies cut ready to go. We're going to jump on and we're going to get our mayonnaise done. Now the great thing is I don't have to clean this bowl. I can just leave it for now. And all I need to do is pop my mini bowl, making sure that I've got my mini blade in there as well. Let's grab paper towel. And if you want to just give the inside just a really quick little wipe. Again, you don't have to be too fussy. It's all going to be mixed in together anyway. And I love a recipe you can make using the same bowl, no washing up in between, just, at the end. So nice and quick and simple and easy. So then we're going to get on to doing our mayonnaise. So we're going to start by doing our traditional mayonnaise that you've probably seen me do before. And that is just with our white vinegar and our Dijon mustard. I'm also going to pop in my egg yolk. And I should have cracked that earlier, but it's just so humid in Sydney. If I do that, it tends to want to stick to the side of my little bowl, so we won't worry about that. Okay, so that's done. Use that little egg white now for some meringue or something nice later, some maybe strawberry mousse. If you haven't seen the strawberry mousse, you need to have a look at that. It's amazing. Excuse my back for a moment. Okay, so we're then also going to add in our salt and pepper. So we'll just do this like a traditional mayonnaise just to get it all blended and together. I'd love to know what sort of other creations you do with your mayonnaise. So what other flavours you do with there as well. So I know over Christmas we did lots of sort of seafood sauce for prawns and things by adding your Worcestershire and your tomato sauce and all those things in there as well. Roasted garlic is amazing in here as well. So lots of different ways you can do, and this is just another spin that we've got going on. So I'm going to get this going. So the mayonnaise is just your egg yolk in there, your salt and pepper, your mustard and your vinegar, and we're going to get going with that, and then oil. I just love the simplicity of making mayonnaise at home. Absolutely perfect. So you want to come in and have a little look. You can see already that we've got the most perfect, amazing mayonnaise ready to go. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add those other ingredients. So I'll just give that a little scrape down on the sides. And we're going to add our remaining ingredients. So in here I've got some apple cider vinegar. I've got another tablespoon of Dijon mustard. I've got natural Greek yogurt. And I'm just going to pop these in here like so. Okay, and then I'm going to add about 1/3 of a cup of just chopped parsley in there as well. So nice and easy. And that's it. The difference that it gives the apple cider vinegar, it just gives it this beautiful flavour. And then I'm just going to give that a little bit of a pulse just to get it mixed together. And that's it. Okay. So again, come in and have a look at how amazing this sauce now is. It's going to be going all over our beautiful chicken salad. Okay. So I'm going to set that aside. And we're going to get on to steaming our chicken. Okay, so like I said, it's a really quick, easy recipe. We're using the one base, which is of course, our beautiful Cook Expert base. Our stainless steel bowl is now going to go on. And I did suggest that you can have your jug boil ready to go, because having the jug boil just means that we're going to be able to steam a little bit quicker as well. So we didn't have to wait for that water to heat up. So we'll just pop in just enough water to just sort of, if you want to have a look, I don't completely cover the blade, but just enough water in there, because you don't want the water to come up and be, so just be, it's down below here. You don't want that water coming up and actually getting onto the chicken, because we're not boiling our chicken, we're steaming our chicken. So I'm going to pop that in like so with my steaming basket. And I do like to spray just a little bit of olive oil into the stainless steel bowl just to stop that chicken sticking as well. You can put a little bit of baking paper down if you want to put that baking paper down as well. So the choice is yours. And then we're going to pop in that chicken. Okay. So I've just got some chicken tenders. I've got about 500 grams of them. If you are struggling to find chicken tenderloins, I know that there is sort of a bit of a struggle for some things out there at the moment. Just get your chicken breast fillets and just slice them into tenderloin sized pieces. So it's not too much of a stress. It still works out very similar, and you'll be absolutely fine. So at the moment, we just got to do what we've got to do and use what we've got, and that's just the way of the world. So here we go. We're going to pop that on. Okay, so I'm just going to now pop this onto our expert. Oop, and I'm going to pop that on for 10 minutes. And I'm going to pop that on at 120 degrees. And we don't need any speed for this either, because we just want that steaming. Whoop. No speed, and go. Okay, so while that's going, we're going to start putting everything together. And this is the beauty of this recipe and why it's so quick, because there's still other things that we can do while we're waiting. So let me just get rid of this and make a little bit of room. Okay, I'll just slide my precious one over that way and we can start getting ready. So we're going to add a few things to this one. We're going to get that coleslaw beautifully mixed. So I'll just grab another set of tongs to be able to actually, you know what's easier? 2 spoons to actually mix that through. But we're also going to add, and again, all of these things are optional. So you can do whatever it is that you want, take out whatever you don't like. If you want to try it with roasted pine nuts or, you know, something else, then that's completely up to you. But I've just got some flaked almonds. I've also got some Parmesan cheese, and I've also got the bacon, which I mentioned that you needed to fry up beforehand. So we're going to have all that there as well. And then we've got some shallots. So the shallots I'm just going to slice up nice and thin. And you're going to add some of it to the salad, and then we're going to also use some to dress the top of it as well. So just a couple of shallots there, so we'll slice those up. So while you're watching, we always love to know where you're watching from. You know, if you've come up with any new clever recipes that you're really in love with and really enjoying at the moment, you know, we'd love you to share as well. It's always nice to get new things from other people. So, you know, let us know where you're watching from. Let me know if you're cooking along tonight. Like I said, Rose is there to answer any questions, and it's always a good time while you've got us on hand to actually ask those questions as well. So I'll just finish slicing these up, and then we can get together everything that we need to get together. So because, as I mentioned, this does make quite a lot of sauce, I actually only put half of it over my salad, and then I put the rest of it to the side, and then if people want to add more, they can add more. If you want to pop it in your fridge and save it for tomorrow, it will last a good couple of days in the fridge as well. So that's not a problem at all. Okay, so now hopefully you can all see this really well. Is it nicely together there? And I'm just going to mix all of that up. Okay, so like I said, if you wanted to do it individual plates, you certainly can. If you want to do it so that it's towered up and you've got all your different layers in different colours, you can do that as well. Whatever. If you're creative, I'm not that fancy creative. I just like to put things together and make them look good, and that's enough. So just whatever it is that you want to do. But you can see how I've just done that quarter of a cabbage of each colour and 2 carrots, and look how much this is actually made. It's amazing. So it's a huge bowl that's going to feed, you know, a good size. You know, if you were just having a family of 4, easily you could you know, do this between 4 and 6 people. If you were using it as a side dish because you were cooking for, you know, a barbecue or something, it's a great one to actually have as a side dish. Maybe don't even add the chicken if you don't want. It's just a little bit of a different twist on you know, your regular coleslaw with just that normal sort of mayonnaise as well, and that beautiful flavours in there. So then I'm going to add my Parmesan cheese. And then I'm just going to leave a little bit of everything so that I can dress the top up. I'm going to add most of my almonds, most of the bacon. Oh, yum. It's just so yum. And then we're going to just bring that all together again. And then as soon as that chicken's ready, I'm just going to use 2 forks and I'm just going to shred it all and pop that on there as well. So we shouldn't have too long left on our chicken. It's usually pretty quick. It's amazing how much you can get done in just those few minutes and get that steaming. And you can see that if you want to come and have a look already, I think we're probably 4 or 5 minutes in, but you can see how that's beautifully steaming, how you've got that, you know, condensation on the top because it's actually doing what we want it to do, and really quickly. That's why boiling that water is always a really good idea as well. So I will just start adding some of this sauce. I'm going to get a clean spoon in case I have to put any of it away. And you can just start drizzling that sauce across the salad. Please tell me if anyone's cooking along, have you tasted this yet? It is amazing. It's just a whole new type of mayonnaise, really. And it is one that I would use quite often from now on, rather than just plain mayonnaise in a dish like this. I would always want to, spice it up a little. Even add, if you wanted to, you know, spice it up with a little bit of chili, something like that, anything really, just to give it that little bit of bounce. Now, some people love their coleslaw covered in mayonnaise, so it's like dripping. Others sort of like that light little taste of it. So that's why I suggest just putting some of your dressing on. And then the rest of the dressing, I would just pop in a jug and put it to the side. And then if people want to add more, then they can add more as they go as well. So that is that. So come in and have a look at how delicious this is looking so far. And you can see how everything's just come together. It looks amazing. We've got all of that together and we've only got 4 minutes left on steaming our chicken. So you can just see how super quick this has been. It's 18 minutes past 6, so I've only started 15 minutes ago. And look what we've done already so quickly in just 15 minutes. So I'll just pop the rest of my shallots in there because we're going to add those to the top just to dress it up a little bit in a minute. You could have a glass of wine now while you're finishing with your last 3 minutes of actually cooking. You could pack the dishwasher. There's lots of things you could do in those last few minutes as you tidy everything up and get ready to go. So give us some, shout outs of things you'd love to see us do. So over the next few cookalongs, we'll really concentrate on some nice summer type recipes, because obviously at the moment, I know in Sydney, it is so humid, like super humid. So we want to be able to give you those sorts of recipes at the moment, sort of depending on the season as well. If you've got any questions, please feel free to ask away. We love your questions and we love giving you the feedback. We love getting your feedback as well on the things that we do. So, again, I always love people to share their photos when they make these sorts of meals. So, if you do it tonight, I'd love you to pop a photo of how you actually presented it. It's really, I love to watch. I remember we did a chocolate cookie recipe once before, and we got people to send their photos in, and the things that people did with these love heart shaped chocolate cookies was just amazing. So it's really great to be able to see all those things as well. Like I said, if you wanted to do individual with this, you really could dress it up by layering and towering up all the different colours, because there's lots of colours with your purple and your green, and you've got, of course, your carrots in there, and then your chicken and the sauce and the bacon and all those things. So it's absolutely amazing. So we must be just about there with our chicken. Just going to have a little look, actually, just to see how we're going. It is always good too to sorry, I'm just going to grab a couple of forks because that's what I'm going to need. It's always good just to check it, because if you've got any bits of chicken that are sort of sticking together a little bit, that might need just a little bit more. Oh, that is so close to ready. Okay. And pop that back on. We must just have minutes left. 2 minutes maybe. Okay, so we'll keep that going. So anything, if you don't want to do, I mentioned earlier, if you don't want to do this as, the chicken in there, then by all means do it with your, without the chicken. It's absolutely no problem. But please at least try this amazing dressing that we've added, that we've got into this recipe as well, because it's really yummy. Different nuts I mentioned you can use. If you wanted to use pine nuts, by all means, use your pine nuts. Whatever you've got, if you really love hazelnuts, whatever it is that you really want, you can add. And that's what I love about these sorts of recipes, that is, if there's things that in there that you don't like, don't add them, don't worry about it, just, do it the way you need to do it. And also the amount that it made. So this bowl is huge, and it has made this huge amount of salad that's ready to go. So if you've got any others really, clever salad ideas, again, we'd love you to share them. We'd love to help you if you've got ideas and you're not sure how to really put it together by using the machine. Of course, we can always help you with that as well. So lots of things that we can do. But I just, again, I'm always really impressed at how much you can do in such little time, so that we've got all this together. So how long have we got there now? Just a minute to go, and I think that it'll be perfect. So what I'm going to do is, I've got 2 forks, and I'm going to shred that chicken, and I'm just going to lay it across the top there as well. And that's pretty much it. So we've done this in super speedy, quick time. Just need water because I talk a lot. Okay, and I will be preserving some of that sauce to add to my own, because I love it. It's amazing. Okay. Just about there. Look what we've done in 20 minutes. Okay. We must be on the countdown now. 10, 9, no, not quite. Okay, let me just move all this out of the way so we can be ready with all our last minute bits to dress this up. And it's a super easy thing to clean up afterwards as well. That's what we love, isn't it? Okay. Beautiful. Okay. You just push that aside. But if you want to come in and have a look, you can see now how just beautifully that chicken has cooked up. So it's all in there, all beautiful, all of 10 minutes. Oh, that one's you know what? That one's slightly pink, but if I pull that out last, I reckon it'll be fine by the time I get to it. Okay, so all I'm going to do is just use 2 forks, but come in and have a look how beautifully cooked this is. Like I said, I have one there that's a little bit pink, but by the time I pull it out, it'll be ready. and we're just going to pull that apart just like that. So nice and easy, especially when you just use the 2-fork method, just to hold it there, get it all done. Oh, that bit kind of could be slightly longer as well. Okay. So if it's not quite, so I've got a couple of bits that are perfect and a couple that aren't quite. So I am going to put it back on for 2 minutes because no one wants to die from chicken poisoning. Okay, so let's see if I can do this without looking and without, I've got to remember, which is, okay, is the time going up? Oh, look at that. So when the time gets to 2 minutes, I'm just guessing what's 2 minutes. Yeah, I reckon that's about 2 minutes. Seriously, I'm that clever. Yeah, that piece was cooked absolutely perfectly, but a couple of those bits are just that tiny bit pink, and I'm really funny with chicken, so let's just give it another couple of minutes. Again, let us know if you cooked along with us and what you think. Tell me if you've tried that sauce, because I really want your opinion on that, because it smells and tastes divine. It's just that apple cider vinegar that gives it that little bit of kick as well, which is really good. So I'm going to start adding this chicken because that's cooked. Beautiful. Okay, if you weren't going to do it with chicken, what else would you do it with? Okay, if you wanted to add something else, what else would you do it with? Do you know what I think would be really nice with this? Is some steamed salmon. Would be absolutely beautiful with this recipe as well. So that's another one. The other thing you could do is not put the chicken in and just use this as a side to something else that you're cooking. So if you're doing a nice fillet steak or even chicken schnitzels or something like that, that's a really nice thing to add as a side dish, rather than, you know, in this weather doing baked veggies or mashed potatoes or chips, which are not all that great for us, but another, you know, really great healthy way that we can add that to the side of our meal as well. So we're just about there, I'm sure. We've got about a minute to go. So I'd love, like I said, tell us what you want us to do, tell us what you're interested in, tell us anything that you want us to cook, what you want us to try. If there's things that you don't know about, you know, we can do some little clips even on the different attachments so that you can see those, because there's lots of different things out there and lots of different ways you can use the things that we've got as well. So make sure you keep in touch with us and up to date with us, and you know, every time that you've got, you know, great inspiration or you've made something amazing and you're proud of yourself. I love it when people put things up about, you know, the bread that they've just made and how they've never done bread before, but they've managed to do an amazing job of it and all those things. So it's really exciting to be able to see those things from all of you. So I'm pretty sure that we're going to be cooked now. Yeah, much better. Perfect. So that was 12 minutes in the end. And we're just going to shred it all up. And you know that you haven't overcooked it when you know that you can shred it nicely as well. So if you've overcooked it, it gets really dry and rubbery. It gets really hard to actually, I'll just move that across so you can see. Gets really difficult to actually start pulling all your chicken apart as well. So those out. I do find that tenderloins are easier than breast fillets to actually shred. But again, if you can only get chicken breasts and you have to slice it up, then that's what you have to do. So we will manage to do whatever we need to do with whatever we've got, I'm sure. Okay. Good standby meal too, so you can have everything, like I said, everything that I've got here is pretty much everything I would normally have. I don't freeze a lot of meat, but I always freeze chicken. I don't find that chicken really changes much when you're freezing it. So it's something that I always have. If I go to the fridge and there's no chicken and there's no bacon, I don't know what's going to happen, because that's usually the things that I know I can at least whip up some kind of, you know, chicken burger or a nice Caesar salad or something like that. So, okay. And if you haven't ever made your own Caesar salad dressing, you need to try that, because I'm telling you, it is amazing. I did one on one of the it wasn't a Cookalong, it was one of the Saturday ones that I was doing. So I'm sure the recipe's out there somewhere, but it was beautiful. It was really, really, really yummy. Okay, and there we have it, our shredded chicken. So I'm just going to pop that on to our salad. I don't stir the chicken through, I'll actually leave it on the top, but but again, that's completely up to you. So we've got all of that there. I'm going to add a little bit more dressing across that as well. Yum. A little bit of extra parmesan. Pop on some shallots. The rest of our almonds. Gives it a beautiful crunch with that little bit of nut in that salad as well. Okay, and guess what? We are absolutely done in 30 minutes or less than 30 minutes. Now come in and have a look at this. Have a look how beautiful it has all come together. And it just looks like a picture. Looks like the picture that we posted with this actually, because this is what bowl I did it in. But isn't that absolutely amazing? And I'm telling you, it is such a nice, beautiful, easy recipe. You'll absolutely love it. Thanks for joining us again tonight. We love having your company and hope to see you at least every fortnight. So Rose will be on in a couple of weeks for another one. We've got lots of other things we're putting in the pipeline as well. So we did a little bit of brainstorming today on some things that we can do to keep you all entertained while we're all in this situation and not wanting to go out as much as we would like to be able to, so that we can make sure that we're still enjoying, you know, our time at home, our time in the kitchen, our time with the family, and our time, you know, with those beautiful meals that we're making. So thanks all for joining us. Love having your company, and we'll see you all really soon. Bye.